Hey, I want to do a very quick video about how companies really ask employees what they have been doing on the last week, have been their achievements. You probably have noticed the news. I don't want to go into the news. I don't want to get political. That's not the goal of this channel by any means. But I want to maybe give a little bit of perspective of maybe where this comes from, especially since Elon Musk has been coming from tech companies. And this is actually a practice that happens in tech companies very often. So first of all, I would like to say that within tech companies, it's a very common way of working, especially since the adoption of Agile and especially with the Scrum, with the daily stand-ups and those planning, sprint meeting plannings or sprint meeting or sprint reviews. Actually, since this was adopted, it's very common to ask the people in the team what has been achieved. So one of the common things to do in a daily stand-up is that everybody goes in the team and tells what they have achieved and what they are going to be working on the next day and what are their impediments. Do they have any impediments to do their job? This is a very common practice. Then when it comes to sprint reviews, usually the teams tell what they have accomplished on that 2-week period. Usually it's a 2-week period for every sprint. And then, of course, in sprint planning, that sometimes happens at the same time. They talk about what are the things that they are going to be accomplishing on the next couple of weeks. So this is a very common thing to do, and it happens in a daily basis in most of the development teams. I talk about product management and product development. So if you are a viewer of this channel, you already have seen me talking about these topics, just if you are new. But I would like to say that this is not the only occasion that I've seen this type of, let's call it reporting, happening, or this type of talking about what you have accomplished. I also seen this kind of work or this kind of or style of talking about what you have achieved in all hands meetings. In some companies I work with, we had all hands meetings, I believe it was once a week. And in that one, every team was going there. It didn't have to be the team lead. Anybody in the team was talking in different times. And they were going through, hey, these are the main 4 or 5 things that we have achieved. And this is where we're going to be focusing on the next week. What are the different activities that we are going to be working? And of course, let's not deny this, there's reports. Some companies are very heavy on reports and they want to see weekly, bi-weekly, monthly reports, whatever style of report. Some other companies are much more informal and there's not such a type of report. So that happens as well, where they ask what is that you have accomplished and what you are going to be working in the future. So why do companies do this? Why this is an important or maybe hot topic? Well, first of all, why they do it is because, especially when it comes to Agile, the main reason to do this is because you want to align and you want to find dependencies. A team works together and the different members in the team are developing towards our goal, usually together. This means that if somebody has a dependency on somebody else having to do their job before they can continue, they had to be able to raise it up. This is why it's very important. And the fact that you are telling what you have done, you might already be raising the awareness on that other person that, hey, okay, so whatever I needed to continue with my work is now done, I can move forward. So this is why this is done. It's mainly for alignment purposes and for moving forward on the development. It's very driven by outcome, potentially output, and making sure that you are advancing on your development plans. So that's usually why it's done in Scrum. There's another reason, and this is why we were doing it mainly in some companies for the all hands. The idea here is to share knowledge and to celebrate wins. Many companies don't celebrate wins almost at all. And this was a great initiative because everybody could come there and say, hey, we have a new prototype. And maybe it was even demo in that moment. That was raising awareness, sharing the knowledge of what was done. Or maybe somebody has been driving a campaign, or for example, they have done a webinar that has been very successful. That all hands meeting was great because you had the whole team and everybody was listening. This was a smaller company, so it was relatively easy to do. In a bigger company, I understand this might be difficult to do. But this is a good way for people to understand what is going on, if there's something new that I was not aware of, or something for me to look forward, or that can help me do my job in the future. And then, of course, there's the purposes of reporting. That happens, and again, as I said, some companies, this is very important. Reports are shared internally, especially in larger organizations, and then they are shared by, different heads of, team leads, or heads of departments, or different heads of businesses, all the way to management teams. And this is maybe the way that this is accomplished within those type of organizations. As for using this kind of information to do performance reviews, I don't know that. I mean, I don't want to be, naive either. I'm pretty sure that if somebody repeatedly in those Scrum dailies is not accomplishing things, that's probably going to raise up at some point to the team lead. Maybe that is going to lead to some conversation. But again, the goal in most of these cases is just to make sure that you are enabling the team, and that you are finding that, hey, we are creating bottlenecks and we have to help others to be able to do their job. And this is the goal of those weekly meetings, and you could argue of those all hands meetings as well. And it's not so much of finding the culprit, but promoting empowerment and promoting ownership for the teams to develop. But as I said, I don't want to be naive, and I'm pretty sure that this has been, in certain cases, the basis for some kind of a performance review. As I said in the beginning, I don't want to get political. I don't want to go into this case and why is this done, if it's for performance review purposes, maybe if it's for alignment, I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to give a little bit of context of, actually, this is a very common practice in many different tech companies. That's just what I wanted to tell, and why it is done. So I think that as a practice in tech companies, it's a healthy way of working. It actually brings a lot of alignment and collaboration, and it drives the projects, and it drives the development of the product. So I think that in practice, it's very good. Everything, can be misused. So that's a different story. So without going any deeper or taking more of your time, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending the time here. We'll watch in the next one. And remember, stay safe.